Welcome to WagerTalk Today, the gold standard of sports betting shows where we talk the talk and walk the walk. NFL preseason's here, Dan. I got up early. I've been crunching the numbers. Like, it's just been all NFL preseason for me. What do we got on today's show? It's a big one.
Yeah, and you got to be crunching those numbers, Andy, because they will move rather quickly. It is that time of year here with the NFL preseason being here. How are we going to get you ready to go on today's show? Don't you worry. We're going to break down a couple different games. We got a couple different plays for you. Joe's going to talk the national TV game. That's Cardinals taking on Raiders. And then also on Netflix tonight, the Phillies and Twins are facing off. The Field of Dreams games. Do we get another Yerfie cashing? The other two editions saw it. We'll see Joe's thoughts on that. We got Andrew McGinnis, CFL. But as you said, Andy, NFL is here. NFL preseason week 1. We got a little taste of it last week with the Hall of Fame game, but we have a full slate, 6 games going tonight. And you have a play that we liked. It moved, and we still like it. What do we got for the Wager Talk Today play of the day?
Yeah, so I sent Dan the graphic that said Packers minus 1.5 for the first half. Made no sense. And then all of a sudden, like a few minutes later, it's minus 3.5. And what's even crazier about it is Green Bay is minus 3.5 in the first half and only minus 3 for the full game. And there is a reason for that. Matt LaFleur has come out and said, quote, "There's a ton of value in playing the starters in preseason." Meanwhile, the Steelers are like, we have really old guys on our team, so we're not going to be playing them. Steelers are going to be playing Will Howard and Drew Aller, lot of reps. And even when Jordan Love comes out, I love when there's a veteran like a Tyrod Taylor who comes in and knows the offense and can manage this. Also, Mike McCarthy does not have a lot of I don't want to say a lot of success in the preseason because some of these coaches have bad records in the preseason just because they don't care. He was 4-9 in preseason with the Cowboys. So all signs point to a big first half for the Packers. But once all the backups come in for both teams in the second half, my good friend Jim, who does the UFC with me, he likes the Steelers full game. So that would be wild if you could cash minus 3.5 on the Packers in the first half and plus 3 on the Steelers for the full game. It could happen. We've seen crazier things. But as Gianni was saying, and we'll bring in Gianni, the line move, it can be good or bad for you because it is a sign of market confirmation. So,
yeah, and it's great for betting as far as, getting clients on board. That's why we're doing this one as a free play. That's why you want those notifications on. Andy talked about it, have a separate email because especially in the preseason, if there's something that we're liking very often and a half point is going to matter. I mean, we had a full 2-point line move. It still makes sense to us, which is why we're doing it for the free play here. But keep those notifications on, folks, because preseason more than ever, it is information driven. It is moving off of air. So definitely it's not like they're lockstep so confident in the numbers that they drop. You know what I mean, Andy? Like in the NFL, I think we've talked about this. Week 1, like those lines have been up forever. Like they say, okay, here's your favorite, here's your underdog, here's, your points for home field. This is our numbers. We believe in them. In preseason, they are very shaky on their numbers. So keep those notifications on. But the 3.5 first half Packers, that's going to be the play of the day. Comment below. Let us know what you're rocking. Like RJ Arsenault. I'm shocked. He's on an LSU quarterback laying a touchdown in a first quarter at plus 130. You could color me shocked. He likes Burrow to start the game off
strong. All right. Well, let's bring in Gianni. I've been waiting months to say for the shoe. Yeah, for the shoe. Absolutely, for the shoe. So, Gianni, happy Thursday. How are you?
Never better. Never better. It's like I've been here now. This is actually this week is the week that I moved to Las Vegas exactly 30 years ago. So I always get nostalgic around this time because it was like preseason was kicking off. Football was around the corner. I decided to move here. I had never even visited Las Vegas before. So it was like a kid in a candy store. And here I am 30 years later and woke up probably 20 minutes before my alarm went off. Knowing football kicks off today. Like I still get excited about it. And that's what I love more than anything else, because like you're constantly learning And the better you get at finding market inefficiencies and then bet sizing correctly, managing your risk correctly, and watching it play out in real time. Like, there's no better feeling like that. The problem we have is that we're so short-term focused. Like, we're all taught to focus on the short term. Like, today, we want it all now. We want it all today. And it's just not how markets work. But if you have conviction, like if you know you have an edge, there's nothing more rewarding than that. Like, and I'm at a point now in my career as far as sports betting goes where I feel that confident. Like, I feel there's, like with blackjack, I know when I walk in the casino, I'm the favorite. As long as I find the right table, find the right game, and follow what I know, like, I become the favorite. And I feel like that with sports. And again, there's no better feeling than that. And then you get to see it play out in real time by your results, by looking over the last 12 months, 2 years, 4 years, 5 years, depending on how long you've been doing this. And you'll see like your ascent. So here I am 30 years later, here and doing the exact same thing. The only difference is that knowledge, that experience, that doesn't go away. That intuition that's been built up for 30 years of doing this every single day, looking at the opening line, seeing how the line moved, looking at the result, seeing lucky results, unlucky results, closing line value, like all of that. I live for it, bro. I live for it. And I urge all guys that are exactly where I was 30 years ago to keep that passion, and you will continue to evolve, learn, grow, and gain in confidence to have that type of conviction. And once you get it, there is no better feeling than that, than waking up in the morning and knowing there's a buffet of opportunity in front of you. You just got to uncover it, locate it. That there's thousands of guys as sharper than you, that are looking at the exact same puzzle. And your job is to put those pieces together before they do, and determine what that picture is before they do. Because if they beat you to it, as we look at the preseason lines, then you're in a tough position, a difficult decision to make. And that's a long about way of saying football is here. It's preseason. These lines are going to move. If you don't have a good number, you don't have to bet it. There's nothing but football and opportunities for us ahead. A lot of line moves already, a lot of sharp action. I'm ready to go, brother. As you can tell, we are chomping at the bit, waiting for football to be here. And now it's here.
Raise your hand if right after Gianni said the word buffet, everyone went to the yeah, everyone's mind went to the exact same place. All right, let's talk some preseason lines. I got notes on every single game tonight. We'll start with you. What are you seeing?
All right. Well, on Monday night, when I sent out the steam sheet, there was like 12 or 13 already moves. And that's what's going to happen. Don't let that scare you. You don't have to get out ahead of the market all the time. In fact, if you don't get out ahead of it, allow it to figure itself out. Once it stabilizes, make some decisions. A lot of times the value will be lost and you let it go. Other times they actually increase the value on the position you like. So don't let line moves scare you. They're simply a confirmation, like Andy said, of an inefficient market. When lines move this significantly, it's a reflection that the market is inefficient. And as a sports bettor, that's what you want. You don't want an efficient market. They're very hard to beat. So here's what we got for today. Green Bay, this is the beauty of steam moves like this. Green Bay, I sent out on the steam sheet on Monday at +1.5. This morning, they bet Green Bay again at -2 and -2.5. So sometimes, even after that first or second number, there's still some value on that third and fourth. Many times that won't be the case. And you'll see a buyback, you'll see a middle attempt. Because again, once there's only so much value on team A before it flips to team B. Like once the line moves so significantly, it's hard to keep saying that team A is the right side. But there's these spots where even after the line move, it's still not an efficient number. Green Bay, obviously one of those spots. Move on to 106 Cincinnati. Laid 3.5, laid 4.5, laid 5. Like they had no problem jumping out on Cincinnati immediately. That's why they are a touchdown favorite right now. They flipped the favorite on New England, but until it gets to 3, nothing significant. But we saw it get to 3. And what happened? They took New England. So around those key numbers, it starts to matter, even in the preseason. Keep that in mind. So a line that doesn't get to that key number yet, you may still be able to get some value. So don't let that scare you off right away. And finally, for tonight, Tennessee. They bet Tennessee at -3. They bet Tennessee. Well, they started betting them at Pick'em. They bet them again at -3, which was a key number. That was what stuck out the most. They laid the 3. They laid the 4. They laid the 5. And now we're looking at -6 with the Tennessee Titans. They also bet that same game over. They bet it over 37, and the book went straight to 39. 37.5, I mean, it went straight to 39. That's also what you have to keep in mind. Hopefully you have odds logic. If you're going to be betting seriously, you should have information like that at your fingertips. Again, I pay for information just like anybody else does. It's just finding what information is valuable, what is worth paying for, what subscriptions are going to produce ROI. For me, Odds Logic has done that. It's paid for itself. I don't even get it for free. I get nothing from it. But if you go to Odds Logic /Ace, I think you get a free week or even a month. Like, check it out, especially during football. Go to my page. I hooked something up with them, and I know they're giving out free time through my page on WagerTalk. Definitely worth it, because you want to see not the line move, but the size of the move. Meaning, did they have to get hit 3, 4, 5 times? Was it 6 limit bets that moved it there? Or was it 1 limit bet that moved it there? We talk about it in MMA all the time, where a guy opens a -300 favorite and 9 seconds later, he's +200. That took 1 limit bet. Like that didn't cost the books anything. Like that is happening right now. But yet there's other times like Green Bay where 5 or 6 limit bets. That's a completely different story. So always click that line and pay attention to when did it move, how much did it move, and was there resistance? That's key. Was there any resistance? And the reason you're checking when did it move is because what were the limits? Again, when the limits open up and they're a nickel, no big betting syndicate's going to tip their hand unless they're setting something up. Now, there's sharp specialists that are going to bet it, because a $500 bet, $1,000 bet, $2,000, it's a big bet. But for the betting syndicates, they're looking to bet 5 and 6. They're looking to move 5, 6 figures on positions. It's a lot harder to do that. So that's some of today's action. I'll read off some for the rest of this week 1 of preseason real quickly. 115 Miami, they flipped the favorite there. 118 the Jets, they took the +1.5, laid the pick as well. 119 Denver, they laid the 3.5. Carolina, they flipped the favorite there. They took the 2.5, they took the 1.5. 123 Minnesota -1.5. Over 38.5 Minnesota Giants, they took the 1.5 with the Saints, and they bet Seattle up to that key number. They laid the 1.5, they laid the 2.5. That's some of the early NFL preseason action. Rest assured, these lines will continue to move. The public hasn't spoken yet. And when it comes to NFL, when it comes to college football, most notably top 10, top 20 teams, public money will outweigh sharp money. So even though the book's initial adjustment will reflect the sharp plus EV better, as the public gets to the window, that all changes. And the lines start to reflect that public money. Again, not that they're afraid of it, not that they're not like encouraging it, but you can only take on so much risk. And sports books aren't in the business of losing money. So once that risk reaches a threshold they're not comfortable with, they have to try to minimize it. Two ways to minimize it: move the line to get people to stop betting it, or move the line to entice action the other way. And more times than not, they know the numbers the wise guys are looking for. If they need some risk management, they could just move the number there, just like we see with options. The institutions move the price to that point of the most, like they say, the most pain. What's going to cost people the most amount of money? That's usually the price it expires at. Long story short, a lot of value in the preseason, but you got to pay attention to the numbers. You're not betting teams, you're betting numbers. And sometimes when that number moves, leave it alone. Other times, again, it's just going to give you a better bet than you would have placed previously. So that's some of the NFL action. Don't overlook baseball. Don't overlook WNBA. Don't overlook the college football. That is a couple weeks away. Those lines are just sitting there waiting for you to take advantage of them. So again, don't overlook the other markets.
Are you seeing anything in MLB? I hated this. I couldn't find anything. I didn't like any props. I like nothing in MLB. I don't know if you saw anything.
Here's what I got so far. 901 Pittsburgh, -110. 906 Dodgers, -130, and the under 9. They took 907 Cleveland from +105 all the way to -110. And then a couple totals for you. Under 8.5, Boston, Toronto. That's opposite the public. Under 8, Texas, LA. Public's on the under as well. That's why I'm probably looking at 7 or 7.5. And then finally, 917, the Phillies adds dogs at plus money in the under 9.5 all the way to 135. And then the under 9 all the way to 125. So probably looking at 8.5s across the board there. Nothing in WNBA to report. Saw some line movements, mostly two-way action, where they bet side A in the overnight, side B this morning, and the line's kind of right back where it opened. So not much to report there. But also don't forget, when football's on, like tonight, Saturday, what have you, it's going to overwhelm the volume, meaning everything else won't matter. Like you could take all the baseball action today, all of it that's going to be bet, and there'll be more money on that Green Bay game than all of Major League Baseball today, let alone the entire board. So keep that in mind and weigh that into your decision making. If you're reading markets and stuff.
Let's talk a little UFC. You and I, we talked Contender Series. That's the first time I've seen a guy get his arm broke and give the thumbs up while his arm is being snapped in half on Contender Series. Oh my God.
I gave out 3 premiums on Contender Series to my subscribers. Hit the 4%, hit the 3%. I was like, here comes the sweep, and I'm going to hit a parlay, actually. I had a 5-fighter parlay, and that bad decision on Escaraga.
Oh, it was awful.
Yeah.
It was awful. That was terrible. We were doing our live show, and we were like, can you believe under half a round is plus money in this Hassan fight? And we hit that one. And it was like, can you believe under half a round is a plus 150 in this Fint fight? So we were able to hit those on the live show. So that was a lot of fun. It's nice to have Contender Series back. By the way, how different is it with more people?
Insane. A completely different atmosphere. It's now an arena.
Yeah.
It's now an arena. Like any other arena. It's not as intimate as it was. Like, it's cool still. I highly recommend it. Like, if you're coming to town, bro, I'm taking you. We're going. Like, it's worth going to a Apex card, Contender Series, or a Saturday fight night card. It's definitely worth it because your experience will be different than anything else, Andy. Like, you're right there. Even if you're like at the last row of the Apex, you're right in the action. Like, you're right there. So it's totally different, but compared to 75 people to like 1,100 that it fits now, it's a much different place than it was prior to this, where it was like, again, a really small, intimate crowd, like they're fighting in their backyard. Now, these guys, it's like where they started out at those smaller venues. You know what I mean? Still arenas, just not T-Mobile where there's 20,000 people. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. especially with fight nights. But yeah, it is a different feeling for sure.
Well, it looked and sounded great. Like the production was absolutely fantastic. What they did with the lights on the walls and the way the sound, that it was really, really good. So, okay. UFC, you got some favorites, you got some close. I don't know. Where have you been looking at? I think there's some parlay busters on this card.
Oh yeah. And we talked about, I don't want to sound like a broken record. We're going to start getting more dogs than the average. Now, on the average, you expect 35% dogs. So if you got 10 fights, you expect 3 of them underdogs. Now we're probably going to start getting 4 underdogs, 5 underdogs on a couple of these cards. That's all it means. And over the course of 7, 8 more cards, we'll get a little more balance. Because again, it's not sustainable. Like favorites aren't going to keep hitting at a 12-1 clip, 11-1 clip that we've seen over the last 2 weeks, where only one underdog comes in. And when that happens, rest assured, the books get crushed, because when you're paying out 5, 6, 7, 8 fighter parlays, it's hard to recover that money. You're paying 6-1, 7-1, 8-1, 10-1, 20-1, 30-1 on the money. That's hard to get that back from guys that are average $10 bettors. They hit you for $400 or $500. They're going to bet the rest of the year before you get that money back. So it has been costing the books. And because of that, they're going to juice these favorites. Again, favorites are still going to win at their historical 2 out of 3 clip, but you got to have more conviction because you're paying a price. I've already released 4 premiums. More are coming. One I'm going to tell you right now, the main event. I'm going to be on Islam Makhachev. The only reason I haven't released it to subscribers is because of what I saw just a few days ago. The narrative is flipping. I expected it to happen. I talked about it a week ago when I did UFC on the Line, that between now and fight night, the narrative is going to be, this is Islam's toughest competitor to date. He's never met anyone like Gary. I haven't faced anyone like Gary, who's longer, who's a true welterweight, a big welterweight, who moves like he does, who has the striking that he does. Yeah, it's all fine and dandy until Makhachev catches a limb. With that said, I saw that line drop to 300 and I couldn't believe it. Like I would unload at that price, but I was like, dude, this is going to drop some more. Like the public hasn't even gotten involved yet. But I woke up today and I see it's up to minus 340, even 3 higher than that in some of the sharper places. That's upset me a little bit because I thought we'd get the discounted price. Listen, I would look to fade Makhachev historically. That's my style. Guys don't win 16, 17, 18, 19 straight fights in the UFC. It just doesn't happen. So I'm the guy that's looking for a spot to fade Makhachev. In fact, the matchup just isn't there yet. And I don't see why Gary's that piece of the puzzle that has been missing to finally beat Makhachev. Like, I just don't get it. He doesn't have the grappling to do it. He doesn't have the one-shot knockout power to get Makhachev's respect. Like, if you think you're going to stick and move for 25 minutes and win rounds, and that's how you're going to capture the title, good luck with that. When the challenger wins 7 out of 10 times, it's inside the distance. If it goes to a decision, it's rare. It's rare to not give it to the champ. Like, you have to pretty much dominate as the dog or be such a big dog like Strickland was, that if you could make it competitive throughout the fight, everyone's mind just blows. And all of a sudden we see a fight that we didn't expect and everything changes and we start giving credit to the underdog just for keeping it competitive. I've seen that happen a lot. Okay. This isn't that case. You're talking about a minus 300, minus 350. This isn't that case. Everyone has the mindset of Gary has he's got a shot. It's not like it's a prayer. But this line's just so discounted, bro. There is zero reason that Gary should be a smaller underdog to Makhachev than he was to Shavkat. Absolutely none. Pound for pound, number one. He just doesn't. He's not loud. He doesnto have to be the biggest voice in the rooms, and that costs him, I think, at the betting window. I like Makhachev. I mean, 3-1 favorites usually win, but I really do think at anything less than like 4-1, I think you're getting them discounted. I really do.
We had a theory. We should just bet against Makachev in the next 3 fights because he's probably not going to win all 3 because he's going to get a Prates and a Morales. So
that's a good approach. It really is.
So all right. Well, Gianni, the whisperer on last Thursday's Thursday Hammer came through. This is a this is a historical run for the Thursday Hammer, and we've got a banger for this week's Thursday Hammer. So Dan, we're gonna pull up. What are we gonna pull up first? This is a 5-leg same game parlay. Okay, so we've got Jackie Young over 23.5 and Shakira Austin over 16.5 in the Mystics game, and then you got Erica Wheeler over 8.5 points, Atkins over 2.5. Says Cameron Brink. That's in the Sparks game. This gets you to 1150. Okay, so this one comes to us from the Parlay Goddess. Okay, so let's walk through
the Parlay Goddess parlay player props in different games on this or same game.
Yes.
Game? Okay.
Those are 2 same game parlays. So let's take a look at the profile picture. I can't tell if that's a nurse or a high school student. So she joined in August of 2010. She's posted 711 posts and somehow only has 22 followers. I would also like to bring your attention to the professional sports consultant. I don't know, maybe capitalize 3 of those letters that start with professional and sports and consultant. But the best is the CEO of the Parlays Lab. She misspelled parlays. So
God bless them.
Yeah. What do you always say? What a country. So yes, this is the Parlay Goddess. She is the CEO of the Parlays. So Yanni, I get up in the morning and I'm like, I can't wait to find the Thursday Hammer play. That's what Thursdays have become. It's like one of the first things I do in the morning. So that is the Parlay Goddess bringing you. Oh, and Dan, do you have the ticket?
Oh, yeah. This is totally not Photoshop ticket she just hit last night.
Yanni, this is a real photo. It's totally not fake. It's real. She turned $80 into $82,000 last night.
Oh, yeah.
Just last night.
Oh, yeah.
This is easy. This is easy. So that
easy
3-leg
work,
parlay.
bro. Easy work.
So we know what
driving right now to work. Call your boss. Let him know you ain't coming in. Because you just found your solution.
Parlay.
You got at least 25, 30 bucks in your pocket. You're a same game parlay away, bro. Same game parlay away.
Easy money. All right. Well, we know what the Parlay Goddess has up for today. What do you have up for today, Yanni?
Chip in the chair. That's all you need in this city. All right. I have my UFC package that's up since May 15th, #1 in profit. In MMA, we've been running really hot. The only reason I haven't released the 5% is because pretty much we're going to hit nothing but 4% on that entire card. So spread that risk all the way across. Futures are already out. Season win totals for NFL, season win totals for college football, national championship, and Super Bowl futures. So those are done. We're strictly now looking at week by week, day by day. We jump on preseason tonight. Going to get that steam sheet out with Major League Baseball. Confirmation in NFL strictly for subscribers. It's 2 times sensitive to put up packages right now in preseason because these lines move too fast. I'm not going to put it up at -3 and have you buy it and look at 4.5 on your screen. It's not going to happen. So until the regular season, most of the football will be for subscribers only, but that's okay because those are my partners and we got our steam room again on Saturday. Again, football's here. Be excited, but pace yourselves, boys. We got a lot of time between now and the Super Bowl to make our money. It isn't going anywhere. Do some damage tonight. Best of luck to all.
All right. Thank you, Yanni. Thank you. I'll always love Thursdays with the Thursday Hammer with Yanni. It truly is one of the best. So that's an all-timer for there, Dan.
Yeah. So what I think this is the most legs we've ever had for the Thursday Hammer. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
All right, let's just pick one of them because you can't put this on the record of the Thursday Hammer. Let's just pick one of the pieces and make that the official Thursday Hammer play. Let's go with Shakira Austin over 16.5 points. I actually like that play. I had that in my notes when I recorded earlier. So Shakira Austin over 16.5. She's gone over in 9 out of the last 10 games. Don't ask how I know that. That's a really
all right. Well,
weird
let's make it official then, Andy.
No.
Shakira Austin over 16.5 as the Thursday hammer, thanks to the Pelé goddess. Let's make it official.
You may need to take a break when you're like, oh, I know Shakira Austin's on a 9 out of 10, like running those points.
You're dialed.
Yeah, dialed in. So, Andy. Gianni mentioned something, and it is truly important. You're going to hear a lot of handicappers talking about buying long-term packages and becoming an all-access client. It is pretty much essential for NFL preseason. So, like, we have a couple of plays up there for sale now. One of the lines is holding pretty strong. The other's kind of teetering, but this is why you're going to hear a lot of us say, hey, get 30 days or get the 3 days, get 3 free. Because if you're just buying packages, you get the plays when you buy the package. But if you're an all access client, they get sent right to your email. And I'll go over the email once again. Just create an email that's your name, WagerTalk@gmail.com. So, Seth Rogen, WagerTalk@gmail.com. I don't know if Seth Rogen's a fan of WagerTalk, but he sets up Seth Rogen at WagerTalk@gmail.com. Let customer service know that's where you want all your plays to go. And don't share that email with anybody else. Don't put it on a list. Don't get spam or anything. Turn your alerts on your phone and you will get a notification as soon as something comes through. So it's really important. Like, we're going to have preseason plays coming out for tomorrow's games, probably later tonight. And those are going to go right to all access. So NFL preseason is really, really big time money, guys. You can do really well on this stuff, but you got to be getting some of the best of the numbers. So become all access clients. So if you're like, oh, we get it. Why do you keep talking about the pack? That's why it's NFL preseason. So,
yep.
Okay. Let's bring in Joe. Went a little bit long there. What's up, Joe? How are you?
What's going on? Parlay goddess, huh?
Yeah. This is going to be the new guest every Thursday, Joe. You've gotten bumped for the Parlay goddess.
Imagine how surprised people are going to be when they figure out the Parlay goddess's name is Chuck and he lives in the basement at his mother's house.
You're not wrong.
Imagine about how that is not what I thought this
that wasn't her in the
all.
Picture.
No.
Dang.
What's the number? Give me over under the amount of dudes that have been hitting her up in the DMs, being like, "Yo, sweet, I got a 5-teamer here for you. We can work. Yeah, let's get," and getting no response back.
Yeah. One of them was our man RJ. The RJ.
Yes.
He was
yes.
in there.
Well, surely they're hitting her up in DMs when you're hitting, 1,000 to 1,
$82,000 on an $80 bet, man.
Yeah.
For those.
It's an interesting number. Most people usually 50, 100, 5, 80. That's a very interesting. Yeah.
Don't unit shame the parlay goddess, Joe.
Just saying.
Unit shame.
Way to go, Chuck. Way to go. Outstanding.
They always love it when you're on, Joe. They're already dropping comments for you here, Chuck or not Chuck. So
Oh, it's Chuck. All right, it's Chuck.
You gotta love it, man. So tonight, man, Netflix. My Phillies. It's exactly what they need. They need to go play baseball in a cornfield. Maybe that'll fix Erez, who's just been horrible since he came to the Phillies. 2 teams. Completely different vibes around them right now. Phillies lost 4 out of their last 6 games. The Twins, they've won 4 out of their last 7. So kind of different directions they're moving in. It's on Netflix tonight, Joe. Somehow CC Sabathia is going to be on the call for this one. How are you looking to break this one down?
Well, can somebody tell when is the last time Aaron Nola actually won a game he started? Like, who was president? Give me some clues here. I believe it's now 13, Dan, 13 straight starts without a win. I think he's 0-5 during that time. It's just not been good. And Taj Bradley has actually been very good here, but we're in the middle of a cornfield and the weather doesn't look like it's going to cooperate at times here. So we might have delays in this game. We all know it's a pain in the ass to go get there. Both these teams will have off tomorrow, I believe. So, but two teams going in two totally different directions. And if there is a rain delay, are these really the two pitchers that are going to remain in the game? Which means the bullpens are going to get active here. And I still don't like either bullpen. So the lefties should have some success against Taj Bradley. It seems to be his worst split. And they certainly have enough. I mean, there's no excuse for the Phillies at this point. None. To be losing games, I don't care where it is, against a team like Minnesota. So this could be a good opportunity for the Phillies to start scoring some runs. That would be great. I think the total's at 8.5. Given the fact that you give me an hour rain delay and we ain't seeing Nola or Taj Bradley and the bullpen's got to get involved, I think runs could very well be coming in this game. Don't forget, it is elevated, too. I think the elevation's about 1,000 feet. It's not Denver, but it's still elevated. We still should be able to get some balls that leave the ballpark here. I think over is the only way I'd look at this disaster of a matchup.
Yeah, it's on paper it sounds, oh, it's so fun. Go do the Hall of Fame or the Field of Dreams game. Oh, it's so epic. There's a reason they only did it 2 other times, Joe. So I don't. The novelty
nearest
of it
DoubleTree is like 2.5 hours away. Like you're not getting a ticket and just hanging out in town. Like there is, It's a giant pain in the ass.
If you build it, they will come, even though they have no way to fricking get there. So yeah, we're looking at the over. Makes sense to me. These bullpens, especially this Phil's bullpen, you want to put Kirkering in, you want to put Alvarado in. I'm also looking for the Yerfy too. I mean, the 2 other incarnations that started early. Netflix wants fireworks, so I'm not saying they're using juice balls or anything, but I'm with you. Runs is what Netflix certainly wants, Joe. All right, an infinitely better matchup you have to break down for us here in game 2. 2 of the top dogs in Major League Baseball. 2 of the top 3 teams here. The Braves are the other that's not going to be in this, but you got Brewers and Dodgers. This should be a terrific series, and it all starts tonight here. Dodgers favorites, surprising to no one, but modest favorites because they're playing the best team in baseball, albeit by 1 game. How are you looking to bet this one, Joe?
Well, you got to try to figure out what are you going to get from Shane Drohan and Sasaki in this one. Now, Sasaki has been, pretty good. I think the last 3 or 4 times out, he's actually been very efficient. He's been really good and has been useful. I mean, 6 runs, 5 earned over his last 24 innings. He's striking out guys. He's not walking as many guys. So he's been good. The problem is, what are we going to get from Drohan? I have absolutely no idea. It seems to be hit or miss with him. Freeman ran into the Royals dugout last night and almost killed himself. So we're not really sure that he's even going to be playing and in the lineup here tonight. And that could be a problem. Milwaukee, it took extra innings for them to figure that game out with the Padres. So both bullpens. It wasn't like the Dodgers ran over the Royals. Every game was a sweat job. What was it, 4-2 again last night? So bullpens are a little iffy. Starters are a little iffy. It's a game that I would look to back the Dodgers early in this one here because Sasaki's current form tells me he should be able to limit what is a struggling Milwaukee Brewers offense early. And if I'm going to trust anything, I'll trust the Dodger bats with or without Freeman to have this game with them playing from in front. So Dodgers in the first 5 is the way I would look at this one. Maybe even the first 5 under as well, because this Brewers offense is just, putrid right now. And the Dodgers aren't exactly scoring 12 runs a game either. So, yeah, I'd look for the early under in this one.
And Joe, if people like getting these first 5 breakdowns, it's something that you do for the channel here every day outside of the best betting show ever that you can check out. But more reasons than ever to subscribe. Tell folks about the angles that you look for in the first 5. And also, Joe, let them know what you got rocking over at your page.
Yeah, we try to throw out a video each and every day that tackles these games from a different viewpoint. Instead of worrying about variance and bullpens and that kind of stuff, it really focuses on the starting pitching and what is it like and who's got the better splits. And we go over all of that there and whether or not we think there's more value in some of these first 5 bets as opposed to the full game. So either which way, it gives you a much better idea about what you've got going on the first couple of times through the lineup versus the starting pitchers. And then we take it from there. So you can check that out on the WagerTalk YouTube page. We are locked and loaded in one of the late games here today. Only 8, I think, right? Total, including the Netflix, another attempt at, I don't know, a baseball broadcast because the first couple went so well. So there you go. Make sure you get your subscription, guys. You got to hurry up. Another subscription you're going to need. Get used to it because that's the only way we're ever going to be watching football, college, NFL, baseball, you name it. It's all going to be subscriptions, Dan, at some point.
But cutting the cord, such a good idea. We got to cut the cord, save some money, Joe. Yeah, you didn't see this coming. That's right there with you.
I think I found the other day. I've been paying a Sling account. I'm like, Sling?
Yeah.
Why
like,
do I even have Sling? When did
for?
because I needed to watch like a Wisconsin game once, and I think they were the only one that had the Big Ten Network. Completely forgot about it.
I did see, you CAA fans as well. I did see Flow Sports. If you have your Prime, Flow Sports will be on Prime now. So that's at least, that's at least one spot that you can watch bad football and maybe a women's volleyball. So,
yes.
Another
William and Mary, man. It's all about W&M, man. Let's go.
You only need NFL Network to watch this game tonight, Joe. And we've seen the line move towards the Raiders again. It looks like, according to Cardinals new head coach Mike LaFleur, you're going to see some Brissett in this game. I don't know if that gets you excited or not, but you should see some starters for both teams here, at least early on in the game. So this one actually should be, as far as preseason is concerned, it's a good one to be on national television, Joe. Line has moved the way of the Raiders. It hasn't quite touched 3 fully yet. How are you looking to bet this one? Cardinals coming off scoring all those points in the Hall of Fame game. Not sure if defense will be featured here tonight, Joe. What do you think?
Well, look at the total. That's the thing that has been absolutely bonkers here. 42.5 for a preseason game. And I think it has everything to do with, keep in mind, Cardinals already played a game, right? And Carson Beck looks like he might be a legit backup in the NFL here. But since he played the first game, that means you're going to get Brissett. You're going to get likely Gardner Minshew, maybe for a couple of rounds, maybe some Carson Beck. Even, Slovis was halfway decent as well. So the Arizona side is going to have some competent quarterback play on the field here tonight. And then look at the Raiders. They are just as interesting at the quarterback position because in preseason, it's all about the quarterbacks and the rotation of the quarterbacks and who's playing in the second half, right? You got Kirk Cousins tonight, likely going. Mendoza is going to get in there. Aiden O'Connell, if for nothing else, is going to be on display for teams who need a quarterback who might very well be interested in making a deal with the Raiders. So, quarterback play is going to be front and center to me in this game. I would not be shocked at all. You got a first-time head coach, right, with Kubiak with the Raiders. You got a LaFleur here who's got 1 game under his belt. These coaches are going to want to show off what they got here again. I didn't see 33-30 in the Hall of Fame game, but I understand why the over is getting bet here. And given the state of the quarterbacks, it's the only way I would look in this game is give me an over. I think more points are coming here tonight.
Yeah, sometimes you just let the line lead the way. And like Joe said, we're accustomed to seeing totals that are in the 30s. You're seeing 142.5, but they couldn't have set it high enough in that Hall of Fame game.
No.
So looking towards the over as you're seeing some starters in action. And once they turn it over to Beck, that might be your best chance to be racking up some points there, Joe. So you already let us know what you have up over at your page. You let us know about the first 5, but you have to remind people, Prez on today, best betting show ever? Or is we still in a Prez-free zone, Joe?
No, unfortunately that ended. But it'll be a Prez-free zone tomorrow, which we're looking forward to.
Friday.
But yeah. But today we did, we just wrapped up the show. So we've got Got a great spot on the predictive markets, a couple of great NFL markets there that we talk about. We gave a couple of college football future bets, run down the Major League Baseball slate, all that fun stuff that should be up here any minute now over at WagerTalk's YouTube page.
And if you're subscribed, you'll never miss when it goes live. Joe, always a pleasure. Enjoy the Saturday off because finally, I believe Kelly Stewart will be back on Last Call. I know, I'm just stay close to your computer, though, Joe.
Dude, I was going to say, dude, there's plenty of time between now and Saturday. There could be a lot of things go hard left here. So, yeah.
Stay close.
Yes.
But if you want to guarantee that you'll see Joe Raineri, check him out on Best Betting Show Ever and here every single Thursday through the football season as well. You got Joe on Wager Talk today. Best of luck, Joe. Always a pleasure, man.
Enjoy, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, there we are, man. There we are. What do you think of go ahead, Andy.
I was like, did you see the Freddie Freeman thing last night? That was terrifying.
No. What happened?
Oh, it was a foul ball, and he went for it and did not see he was right by the steps of the dugout, and it was he got up and everything, but I was like, that's how you break an arm or a concussion or something. So he seemed to be okay. But
did you see that clip going around social media of that soccer game where the guy scores and then he runs and then he celebrates and he literally jumped down a stairwell?
Yes, the tunnel. Why is that tunnel there? Why is that tunnel there?
It looked like he was warping into a Mario tube. It was like the other side's going to be.
And how come there isn't a little gate?
You would think
there by the steps. It happens a few times every year. Why can't you put a little freaking gate there? So, a few things here to go over. There's one, Joe mentioned Kalshi. There's one I've been looking at. Taking the yes on Obsession to be nominated for an Oscar. The Oscars normally don't nominate horror movies. That thing was so good. And I feel like the Oscars are kind of being pressured to be like, hey, have a little bit open mind here. You guys haven't nominated some incredible movies because they weren't super serious. But that was such a cultural phenomenon. I'm not sure they're going to get away with not nominating that one. So that was one that I was looking pretty hard on Kalshi. I was going to go over the rest of these preseason games here real quick before we get into CFL here, just to go over some of the storylines. I think you guys have covered the Bengals. Looks like Burrow's going to play for a little bit. Lions are not playing anybody, and Dan Campbell traditionally has not cared about any of the preseason games. Packers and Steelers, we went over that one. Colts and Patriots. The Colts have much bigger advantage at quarterbacks in preseason. They got Anthony Richardson and Riley Leonard. These are guys that started. This is your perfect protege for what you want in a preseason quarterback, someone that can run. And that's what Anthony Richardson can do. So if a play breaks down, he can run. The Patriots, Dan, listen to some of these people that they're playing tonight. They're going to start Tommy DeVito with rookie 7th-round pick Baron Morton backing him up. And the running back is undrafted second-year running back Lan Larison. That's who the Patriots are rocking with tonight. So the Patriots are not playing anybody. Cardinals and Raiders, Joe went over. Chargers and Texans. Listen, we made a lot of money betting on Trey Lance last year. He is another perfect quarterback that you want in the preseason. And it looks like the Texans, they have Davis Mills. I'm not sure Davis Mills is going to play a bunch. He's kind of important to the Texans. He's a good backup quarterback. So then it moves to Graham Mertz, who averaged only 5.4 yards per attempt, 3 interceptions on 32 preseason throws last year. And again, this is a Chargers team. And by the way, Mike McDaniel, first game, don't you think he's going to want to try and have some call some interesting plays? So I like the Chargers in that one. I like the over as well. And then you've got the Titans and the 49ers. If you're the 49ers, I'm not really sure why you would play anybody. You're so banged up already. This feels like a throwaway game. And then you got Robert Saleh, who is probably going to want to see what his players got. He's going to want to settle some position battles. So Titans I kind of like as a bet on in the preseason. So all right, that's a little preseason breakdown for you. I will just tell you, our resident Jets fan is high on the Jets in preseason. The word is they've got some players that they really want to showcase and see what they got. So that's another team that could be looking at, hey, who do we have what's our depth chart like? So some of these talented guys are going to get some good run going up against some teams that don't really care. So, all right, let's bring in Andrew, and we got to talk our CFL fix. Were there no awesome games on? What's up with these games that you got assigned to break down here? Like you've got, let's see, pull up my notes here. You got the 0-8 Red Blacks. You've got the bottom of the barrel game. So explain to us what is going on in CFL this week.
Yeah, Andy, I started the season off talking with you guys about, hey, the league's so competitive this year. Everyone's close. Anyone can win it. And then as the season progresses, it's like, there's like 3 teams and everybody else sucks. So that's been a little bit difficult, but I think this is a pretty good betting week to look at. And guys, I kind of felt like my inner Gianni the Greek was coming out there because I was hoping you guys had a little bit more to say, because I was just sending out a client play as I hopped on here with you guys, and I was like, man, I've seen Gianni do that so many times before hopping on WagerTalk Today. But the player props, man, and I'll tell you, like, I just recently started writing for a CFL website, and how I started my intro this week with them is very simple. And I'm not just saying this, guys. Everyone's saying football's back, whatever. I'm not going to be here to be the defending CFL guy, but realistically, had a couple down weeks a couple weeks in the CFL. But we're still plus 18 units. And in my opinion, we're now entering the best time to bet the CFL. Like nobody, if nobody cared before, guys, I can promise you the odds makers really don't care anymore about the CFL. This is the time to make money on kind of the unsung markets.
I mean,
am I wrong?
All right. Well, let's talk about these games. Let's start with the Lions and the Calgary Stampeders. I see 2 losing records with these guys.
Yeah.
But there's value there, and then I can't wait to talk about the poor Red Blacks. The poor Red Blacks are 0-8. So let's start with the Lions and the Calgary Stampeders. 2 bad teams. What do? We have a saying in UFC: don't bet shit with shit. And this kind of feels like one of those situations. So what do you say?
So there's one bet that I literally just sent out right now to clients in this game. Over 67.5 rushing yards for Xander Horvath, running back for the BC Lions. This number was at 60.5 when I was typing it up. I was more than fine with changing to 67.5. Think about how crazy that sounds. I was fine with that. One of my sources that I trust in a very big way for player prop projections in the CFL, I'm pretty sure he's worked behind the counter before with CFL player props. He has 90 as his number. So we just gave out over 67.5 rushing yards for Xander Horvath. He just stole the number 1 job in BC as far as the running back room is concerned. And it's almost like nobody adjusted. Nobody realized that he's now the guy. We were waiting for numbers to pop up, waiting for them to pop up. There were some 58s, 59s, 60s. You snap your fingers, you got a 67.5. We got a bad weather game. We got a guy getting well over 17 carries now. And we've got a defense that's bottom 3 against the run in the league as far as Calgary is concerned. So player prop time, we'll go over Xander Horvath, BC Lions. You want a sneaky winner tonight? There you go with that one. A source has over 90 for him tonight. Passing props, I like under. As far as Vernon Adams Jr. is concerned, coming off one of his worst games I'd seen him play in over 2 years last week. The whole world's going to be on him to bounce back, but bad weather game tonight. You got a pretty respectable defense, actually, a tough pass rush. I think he'll have a tough time. And guys, last but not least, look, this is a game, like I keep on saying, bad weather. And I know we always say, well, it's not always about bad weather. It's about the wind and it's about how it's going to work. Look, if this Calgary team can't sling the ball, and we're on the under there for his passing prop. And I like the over for BC's running back. I think the under in the full game is the play here. We've talked about it every week I've been on here with you guys. These numbers have been so overinflated. Defenses are getting better. Poor weather game tonight. You guys don't have to watch. Take these 3 plays, and we'll try and cash a ticket. Give me the under in the full game.
I will not be watching, Andrew. I'm sorry. I will tail you as moral support, but no, I won't be watching. All right. We talk about the Red Blacks every week. It's kind of our little Thursday tradition. 0-8. They've scored 186 points for the season, which if you do the math, that's not a lot of points. I don't know. What do we do with this 0-8 team? Is it like they're due, or you just keep fading away?
Well, it's funny. I talked to some people and they're just like, well, there's a real possibility they only win 3 games. And then I talked to some people and they're like, this team could go winless. So like someone said to me 3 games I was working with a few days ago. I was like, 3 games, that's almost a compliment for this team at this point, winning that. This one is... This is about as ugly as it gets, but I'll be straight up with you. I lost a big play on Ottawa last week. Some might have thought I was crazy to have a big play on Ottawa, thought the number was there. And I think that if you took Ottawa last week like I did, the number's there for the taking again this week. However, this is going to be one of those ones, and my clients already know this. I'm going to be waiting until, I don't know, a couple hours before kickoff, a handful of hours. I mean, typically with CFL, as I mentioned, NFL coming back, college coming back, there's not as many movements, but what we're going to start seeing is there's not going to be as many movements during the week, but then like a few hours before the game, guys, it just spikes. Last week, there was an opening number in a game at -4.5. It corrected up to 6.5. 3 hours before the game, that game closed at 9.5. You know, like if people don't think that the odds makers are still a bit clueless with this sport, I mean, that's your example right there. So look, Blue Bombers, quarterback's healthy, playing at home, off a bye week. Everything sounds pretty good, right? No. Give me the Red Blacks. Give me winless Red Blacks on the spread. Andy, I'm going to suffer through it. I saw this tweet, a guy that I kind of met through Twitter, and I saw him. He tweeted out, please don't tell me I'm going to suffer through I'm going to ruin my Friday for the 3rd straight week playing the Red Blacks. And I replied to him, or I sent him a DM. I was like, dude, I might be doing the same thing as you. So the ugly dogs, man, hopefully it works out.
I wish you nothing but the best of luck. I'm pulling for him. You know, it's at some point you got to pull for him, you know, to get a win. Nobody wants to see a team go winless. So, too funny. It's
bad when you're like, you know, a team is bad when you've got like podcast hosts and like writers, like articles that I read, that they're debating what is worse, the offense or the defense. Like typically you kind of have an idea, right? Like, you know, like you're watching the NFL, you're like, this team's defense sucks, but their offense good. We're all like, what sucks more when it comes to this team?
That is,
and I owe Dan a winner too, especially a birthday winner. I sent him a loser last week, so I owe him a winner too.
That's so funny, man. Absolutely hilarious. What's worse? They're off. That's a tough rebuild. When people can't figure out what's worse, your offense or your defense, that's going to be that's not just bringing in one player. Yeah, that's a rough one.
That's tough. Well, we do our show, myself, Terry Edelman, Bobby DeBoe, the CFL betting blueprint. It's posted every Tuesday night. Appreciate a lot of you guys that have joined us watching the show. And one of the things that we always complain about on the show is coaches' decision-making in the CFL for when to go for it, when to kick the field goal. Successful kick, the other team's getting the ball back on the 40 here, guys. So some of these teams, if you're playing in a high-scoring shootout, they kick a field goal. I read a stat, I already told you guys before, the average points per the next drive was 3.8. So, like, You're kicking a field goal only to give the other team a field goal. So last week, Ottawa's coach makes the right decision, goes for it. Quarterback underthrows the receiver wide open in the red zone. So I was like, you got to be kidding me. But yeah, player props. And I didn't, I wasn't looking for it. It just, the number popped up. Some of my trusted sources like had numbers way, way over. I have never seen this. Like I look at these sheets every single week, and usually it's like 5 or 6 yards over or under what the number is at DK or FanDuel. Like, Andy, if I told you right now, hey, man, like take this rushing prop, it's at 60.5. And then you're like, okay, what do you think it should be at? And I said 90. Like, that's pretty damn good.
That's so funny. Well, the poor Red Blacks will be rooting for him in spirit. So, all right, Andrew, what do you have up for everyone to wager talk?
First of all, go Packers. I'm still going to be tapped in on that. So, sharp money on them. Hopefully it's smart money. Tonight, 5% play on the side. Mention 2 props, mention the total. We got a 5% play up in CFL on the side. And look, we're not here to hide. We're here talking about the good times. We'll talk about the bad times as well. kind of a shaky past few weeks, and we're still up 18 units through 11 weeks of the season. So let's start this week off with a bang, with a big winner. Head over to my page, grab the 5% play, or you guys can go ahead and get a 3-day pass, get all of my plays over the weekend. And we also have a deal right now. You can message me or you can talk to customer service. We're going NHL full season, rest of CFL season. You're giving you a really good deal. We'll make money with CFL. It'll bring you right into the NHL season as well. Early start this year, guys, as well, with the NHL, September 29th.
All right, Andrew McGinnis joining us every Thursday. Give us our CFL fix. Thanks again, Andrew. NFL props right around the corner, so we'll be talking those. Dan, coming off a loser in WNBA, I had like 4 plays I liked. I picked the one the one loser. We had the Wings -9.5, and they were up 18. And then the tempo start off. Marina Mabry makes 3 3-pointers just right out of the gate in the fourth quarter. They score 30 points to cover the spread against us. So free plays and leans look good. We hit our same game parlay on the video yesterday, and there's another same game parlay video that is up in the WNBA tonight. That's on the YouTube channel, so you can get it. So only plays that we have tonight are preseason plays. No MLB, no WNBA, but we do have 2 of them. One is a 4% best bet. One is a 2% money line. So, we're 0-0 in preseason. It's the first week, but I got to tell you, we kind of nailed the Hall of Fame game.
Oh, yeah. No, that felt real good. That felt real good, especially because they clipped it and then they posted it as a separate video, and there were comments like, "Oh, best time of year, get to fade these clowns," and everything like that.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, and then we were right on the over, we were right on the cap, we were right on Beck looking good, we were right about the motivation for both offenses, we were right about it being a close game, so we were right on taking the points. So yeah, it's funny how that works out, and then nobody coming back being like, "Yeah, you guys were right." But yeah, we nailed that game. And you've been, Andy, putting in the research, man. Like, I feel like all these NFL futures that we've been doing have had us in watching these teams a little bit more and reading about training camp stuff. So this prep that we've been doing these NFL futures every single day on the show, I think has definitely helped us feel like we're a little bit more dialed in on football. I'm not as excited for the football season, to be quite honest with you, Andy. It just didn't hit the same. But as far as being full steam ahead and being focused in, this is probably one of the better years I feel like we have heading into the NFL season.
Yeah. So speaking of going into the NFL season, we're going to end the show with our future prop, and we are going to talk out the Seattle Seahawks over under 10.5.
Might be Seahawks. I don't know. It might be hacks. Who knows? From champs to chumps.
All right. Well, I'll let you start off the breakdown. Where'd you land on this number?
Yeah, I just you have to be aware of the division that this team is going to be playing in, right? Like that's number one is the competition that they face off against. A lot of people are very bullish on this division as a whole. So they're going to have 2 games against 49ers, 2 games against the Rams, and this team who won the Super Bowl last year actually isn't even favored to win this division because they have the darling Rams that everyone is already anointing as champions. Now, outside of that, the schedule isn't particularly tough, despite being a first round or a first play of the schedule here. You got games to start off the year. They start off against the Patriots. Did the Patriots get their revenge? I'm not really all that bullish on the Patriots, but then you got Cardinals, Commanders, home game against the Chargers. So for me, Andy, the handicap starts and maybe ends with is what we saw from Sam Darnold last year. Legit is what he did last year, where everyone, Sam Darnold's going to turn into a pumpkin. Sam Darnold's going to turn into a pumpkin, and what happened? He never did. This team seems like from the moves that they made, it was kind of like an all-in last year. They do keep Jackson Smith and Jigba, so that's good. But letting Kenneth Walker leave the building, this 10.5 is a high task. You know what I mean? So I think this team is going to win 10 games. It's do they get that extra one? I think you're going to be sweating it out, and their last 2 games of the season they end Rams, a little respite, and then Rams. Such a weird scheduling spot to end the year, Andy. slight lean to under,
Ridiculous.
but I know on Bet On It, we just recorded yesterday and you can subscribe. You'll know when it goes live, but Bet On It is live now. Marco D'Angelo took this team to miss the playoffs. Marco had a super hot take on the Seahawks.
Wow.
So I lean towards the under kind of with Marco's thinking as well. I don't think they'll be that awful, but Andy, what do you think? Same reason to be excited about this team as you were last year? How are you seeing this year?
Well, I'll go through their staff. So 14 wins last year. Their defense was truly incredible. First in points per game, first in third down defense, seventh most sacks, first in rush defense. Changes. Clint Kubiak moves on. Brian Fleury takes over as OC. Third most points per game. So they're the best at holding teams under to fewer points. But then they scored the third most per game, eighth in yards per game. Kenneth Walker leaves. You got Charbonnet will return at some point. They draft Jadarian Price. A couple of changes in the secondary. To me, it doesn't really matter because they still have lots of talent and they still have the coaching and the system that the coaches put in last year. They get Arizona twice. They get the Raiders. They get Giants. They get Carolina. And there could be a real thing where that last game doesn't mean anything to the Rams or Seahawks. Like that division could be over. Darnold, listen, every time Darnold has had a good coach or a decent system or just some continuity or something that's stable, he's been good. I thought Minnesota letting him go was absolutely idiotic. I don't know how you can have a quarterback and a coach have that good of chemistry. And then because you had a couple of bad games in your first season with Minnesota and then turn it over to JJ McCarthy, they got their number one wide receiver. What's their weaknesses? Offensive line could play a little bit better. Darnold, maybe a few less interceptions. I think they got the building blocks to another big season. I am on the over in this one. I am going head to head with you and Marco. So, but Seattle to miss the playoffs is wild.
That's spicy.
That is wild.
I feel like Marco did it to get comments, but regardless, he put his stamp on it on Bet On It. And you can see it now. They have a college football preview where they go through the whole power conferences and give their thoughts, their winners, over-unders, things like that. And they go every single division and also give their Super Bowl winners as well. So you can check that out. Bet On It live right now. The one of the most popular shows year over year is back, baby.
Titans, to no surprise, Titans. This is great. The Pats want that game won. Yes, the Seahawks don't.
No, they don't care.
They don't care. Sam got married. Is there a fade? Actually, the opposite. I like it when quarterbacks get a little bit more stable in their lives.
Yeah.
So like now you have a wild divorce and like a
got the fade
lawsuit and that's a fade, but I actually like when young quarterbacks kind of settle down and get into the family life. So stability means a lot. And when these guys get grounded a little bit more, I think it's a positive for them. So, I mean, you just go back and look at who Darnold had to play for and then ends up as a backup on San Francisco, and Shanahan's like, hey, this guy's good.
Yeah.
And
then he goes and wins the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So it turns out Shanahan knows what he's talking about. The guy goes and wins the Super Bowl. So
very fair.
Yeah. So, are they going to win a Super Bowl again? Oh, I don't know. I'm not willing to bet that, but I am willing to bet over 10.5. So, all right. Where do you come up with these stipulate? Just knowing what has worked for me over the last 10 years, like the fade the baby thing in golf and UFC is undeniable.
Okay. It makes sense.
It's undeniable that when a golfer just has a baby or a UFC fighter has a baby, you bet against them. Like it is just, and anybody that's followed me for any length of time knows that is a real thing. So all of these theories that I have are basically, I've tested them like with my own money to see it. And like the fade, the part-time job, any UFC fighter that has a part-time job, I'm out on.
Yes.
Like,
because they're not paying attention. I mean, they already got 1 foot out. You know what I mean?
The fade, the uniform. When a fighter comes out and their uniform doesn't fit, if you can't get your uniform right, you think you can get a fight right? No chance. No chance.
Not a good look.
So, I got lots of them, but what's tough is like you can't really put those in the write-ups. it's kind of tough.
Yeah.
Like you can dance
people aren't
around
gonna
it,
buy
but
that.
yeah, you're like, hey, I got a 5%. Yo, dude just had a baby last week. He's done. Like, but I'll be betting on it. So, all right, Friday, tomorrow's show, we are locked and loaded in to get you ready for the weekend. Tons of preseason football. Again, this is the time of year where you become an all access subscriber. That way you get the best of the number for preseason. So if you invest in a handicapper that does preseason, just, don't buy a package, get something long-term, get 30 days, something. That way you get those dings and those notifications. Speaking of notifications, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Hit the bell. That way you get notified when these videos go up and go live. Good luck in all your bets. Make sure you comment below, and we'll see everyone tomorrow. Take care.